color jacket and a ran down Citizens for Laughs. He had an old lady named Petula who packed an automatic 45 gun. They had just come up from California where they'd shot 6 cops for fun. Jake, he thought he was the best there was, as down the interstate he saw, till the day he tangled with the county sheriff, who they all called 104. It was late on a Thursday evening, and Jake, he was feeling kinda mean, 'cause he just run out of his favorite drug, you know, the one called amphetamine. So we started up to Petula, and it said, say, baby, let's split. There's a little gas station on down the road that might be fun to hit. So they drove up to the station, and they both jumped off of Jake's ride. They were up to derision at Jake's decision as they both saw to the inside. The attendant, he was an old man, and you know he didn't think it very funny. When Petula pulled out that great big gun, said, honey, give me all your money. Well, the old man opened up the cash drawer, and Jake grabbed the money and ran. With Petula out the door to the big chop parlor that was parked on the center kickstand. Then they headed out for the 4-lane, and they thought it was lots of fun. With Jake on his hog, with Petula the dog, with the automatic 45 gun. Jake, he thought it was the best there was, as down the interstate he saw, till the day he tangled with the county sheriff, who they all called 104. Didn't think it very humorous, and you know he didn't like to get sassed, 'cause just that morning he had a cup of coffee with a cop named Pendergrast. But the old man had a lot of sense, and he knew just exactly what to do. He dropped a dime in the phone till he got the dial tone, and he talked to operator 42. Operator 42, she was the best, and she gave out the description of Jake the maggot with the gang colors jacket and Petula with the 45 gun. Now it just so happens that Jake, he was headed for 522, where 104 was popped in the shade, thinking, baby, I'm waiting for you. Jake laughed and thought he had it made, but you should have seen the look in his eyes when outside Monroe on 522, you know he got one hell of a...
Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark, wants to give a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to our show. Please check out the Night Dreams Talk Radio website at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. Also, if you want to keep our show free of advertising, just hit the donate button. Give $1 or $2. Remember, all prior shows are always free to listen to. We at Night Dreams Talk Radio thank you for your support. Night Dreams Talk Radio Network brings you The World Paranormal News with James Creechbaum. Now, the latest news.
I'm James Creechbaum with the Paranormal and World Changes News. While rooftop cameras capture another meteor fireball over Madison, Wisconsin. The meteor was seen falling in the skies west of Madison on Tuesday night, according to several witnesses. Now, there was also one seen over Madison just last November. 8,000-year-old Aboriginal rock art destroyed during brush fire. Archaeologists confirmed that ancient Aboriginal rock art in Australia's Balloon Cave cannot be restored after fire damage caused by brush fires. Also in the news, SARS-type virus blamed for outbreak in China. Scientists now believe that the coronavirus is responsible for a recent pneumonia outbreak in the city of Wuhan. Since December of last year, as many as 60 people in China have fallen ill to pneumonia due to the mysterious contagion that has remained notoriously difficult to identify. Also in the news, NASA satellite takes incredible video of ancient North Star eclipse. By studying data from NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, or TESS, astronomers have discovered that the star Alpha Draconis, also known as Thuban, and its fainter companion star eclipse each other on a regular basis. Also in the news, there is an alleged Bigfoot and baby captured on video. Now, this short video was shot by a hunter near Banff National Park, and that is along the North Saskatchewan River Valley. Now, the hunter noticed an animal carcass hanging in a tree, then noticed a dark figure nearby resting between two trees. He believes this to be a large Bigfoot holding a young Bigfoot. Again, the video is for interpretation. Also in the news, a black triangle, and it's very interesting footage, I must say, just a few days ago, was observed in Mordovia and Russia. Now, that was taken on January the 6th, and it looks extremely similar to the ones, a couple of them here in the U.S. within the last few days. Next news break, top of the hour.
From our compound, from the West Coast to the East Coast to worldwide, both on the Internet and terrestrial radio, you're listening to Gary Anderson on Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark.
And here I am. Yeah, you might get yourself a nice blanket and get nice cuddled on that easy chair, maybe next to a fireplace, because our next guest coming up here, or our guest tonight, is Tom Whitmore. We're going to be talking about, well, UFOs, conspiracy, documents, Mufon, and so much more. You know, it's going to be a great show, and he's going to be calling in here any minute. So you want to stay tuned and listen to it here tonight. You might want to share us on your media real quick and let people know tonight they want to tune in to Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark with me, Gary, and my, cohort, sometimes when he's not eating sugar-frosted flakes, is James Chrisbaum.
You got a hidden camera in here somewhere.
I don't know. The last time you were talking to me, you were eating frosted flakes, James. And you got to lay off that. It's processed cereal. It's not healthy for you.
I know. I've cut way down, and the good news is that was the last of the cereal for today. So I won't get any more. I am cutting down on that.
Okay. Well, hey, Tom, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Gary.
Well, how's everything going on your end?
Oh, pretty good. I'm enjoying the winter weather here in Washington, D.C. area, and we got a little snow yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Or the day before yesterday. So that was our first real daytime snow. We got about 1 or 2 inches, and it didn't really stick on the streets, but it hung around on the grass for a couple of days.
Well, you know what? It's going to be more coming your way. You know that. I don't know if you've been listening to the show or not, but we were talking about a guy who got busted in Las Vegas. He had a couple, 4 drums of 100 gallons each of gas. He got a gas pump, and he made a gas station in his backyard, and people were coming and buying gas.
God.
An enterprising guy.
Yeah, but, I was telling everybody, he could have gave the whole neighborhood a free blowjob, because I tell you, you know how dangerous gas is, let alone have it 15 feet away from your neighbor's house, and you got people driving through your backyard to buy gas. That's crazy.
That's even worse than your next door neighbor having a meth lab.
Well, either one of them can give you a nice, disaster when it goes off.
Doesn't sound like fun to me.
Oh, yeah. Well, why don't you tell listeners about yourself, a little bit, because we have new, listeners since you've been on, because we're on 22 stations. Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself, Tom?
Well, my name is Tom Whitmore. I'm originally from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was born in 1953. I'm 66 years old. I grew up in Tulsa and graduated from high school there. I've been in the financial industry most of my life since 1975, and I retired as a financial analyst this year. I was employed with a local company in San Antonio, Texas, and I lived in San Antonio for 35 years. In 2017, my personal situation changed. My wife passed away, and my daughter grew up and moved out. So I've had a chance to retire and start a whole new life. And I decided that I wanted to move to the Washington, D.C. area in order to do research at the National Archives and at the Library of Congress. Now, I've been interested in UFOs since the 1960s. I started out when I was about 11 years old, and I saw a book by Donald Kehoe, Flying Saucers, Serious Business. And I read several of Donald Kehoe's books in the 60s. And back in those days, the UFOs were much more in the mainstream media. They were in the newspapers and even on TV. One major program that I saw was a special that CBS had put on. That made a big impression on me. But meanwhile, I didn't really get directly involved in the UFO field until around 1990. In the late 80s, I saw a program on TV called UFO Cover-Up Live. That piqued my interest, and I also noticed a UFO magazine that I bought and I read, and I started studying up on the subject, and I started reading UFO books. Well, at that time, the Mutual UFO Network, Mufon, was headquartered in Seguin, Texas, which is just a few miles away from San Antonio, and it was run by Walt Andrus. And they would have local meetings in San Antonio, and I would attend those meetings, and I joined MUFON. I ordered the Field Investigator's Manual. I passed the Field Investigator's exam, studied some cases. I eventually became the state section director, the chapter leader in San Antonio. And at that time, there were certain changes going on, both at MUFON and in the UFO field, and I was invited onto the MUFON board at the time of the Austin, Texas Symposium in 1994 and 1995, and I've been on the MUFON board ever since. Now, my particular area of interest is the history of the MJ-12 affair, and the MJ-12 affair is related, to a set of documents that came out in the 1980s that are question documents, but they point to a possible secretive group that studied the Roswell crash and that has managed the UFO problem since then. And
we just lost him. He's on Skype, and that's what happens with Skype. That when you go Skype to Skype, you always risk, you know what?
Yep. I heard it go out. I thought it was me when I heard it.
Yeah, hopefully he'll call right back, and hope he realizes that he's not talking to us anymore.
He might not. Sometimes I didn't. I was still talking. I'm like, I'm not even on the air.
Yeah, well, let's find out. Maybe I should try calling him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, let's see, because, of course, if I call him, it's going to be on a cell phone. Okay, there he is. He's back.
There he is, yeah.
That is the problem, Tom, with Skype sometimes. I got to warn you about that.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's no problem. I find sometimes Skype to Skype is not the most reliable.
Yeah, but I think that the sound quality might be a little bit better this way than with cell.
I don't know. What type of microphone are you using?
I have an Apple earphones that has a microphone on it. They're earplugs.
Yeah, because the thing is, James, isn't he breaking up a little bit when he's talking with it?
Yeah, he is too on my end. So it's not just me. I guess it must be him then. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you might want to do, invest in a lower price, a USB microphone, like Blue, and get yourself a set of headphones and go that route, and your sound quality will sound almost as good as me.
Okay.
And it's really cheap because you don't have to buy the expensive $100 microphone. You can buy their like $49 one, and it comes like with a little stand, and you plug it into your laptop or computer. You're good to go. And then you plug in your headphones, and you're all set.
Okay. Well, I'm working out of an iPad.
Oh, okay. So go ahead, and where we lost you is where you were mentioning, Roswell. You were talking about, maybe that they've been, monitoring or whatever since then.
Yeah,